Showdown on the Pier.
Welcome to Take Two Radio. We are pleased to bring you interviews with people in the entertainment and music industry, discussions and recaps of the 4 remaining daytime soaps. That's The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives, as well as various other shows. For upcoming and previous shows, check take2radio.com. That's with the number 2. And you can find us on Blog Talk Radio, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and other streaming apps. Follow us on social media at Take Two Radio, and thanks for listening.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Take Two Radio. I'm Pam, your host, and we have David, and we have Candace, and we have Anthony, and we have Carolyn. Hello, everybody.
No, we don't have Carolyn. We do
she
not
didn't
have
call
Carolyn.
yet? No.
She opted out.
She's
last minute.
She's under a hurricane warning. Yeah.
Well, we kind of thought that might happen, so we're just going to pray that she stays safe.
Exactly.
Let's pray for everyone in Puerto Rico and Florida and anyone else that's affected by or might be affected by this hurricane.
Definitely. But in the meantime, tonight we're very pleased to be able to speak with multi-award-winning actor. And a lot of you may recognize him on General Hospital as Scott Baldwin. He's only played that role for, 42 years? Which seems almost impossible. So tonight we want to welcome Ken Schreiner.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so I'm
Good
live.
evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How's it
Hello.
going? Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
There's 4 of us, so you're going to hear multiple hellos at this moment, so you're good. But thank you so much for joining us tonight. We so appreciate it. We know how very, very busy you are.
Yes, very, very, very busy. We're on a bit of a break from General Hospital right now because of the so we're all kind of on a vacation.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, they shoot a lot of stuff so that they can go. They don't have to shoot for a couple of weeks every month or every month. There's a break. There's a week or 2 weeks or sometimes 3 weeks. So that's how they work. So they do a lot in one day.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. We know that. We're pretty familiar with how hard you guys work. But
yes,
I didn't realize
Jackie Zeman, so you must have met her with Jackie.
Yeah, we've spoken with Jackie. Unfortunately, I was not able to make that one, but my crew was, and from listening to it, everybody thoroughly enjoyed speaking with her, and she enjoyed speaking with us.
Yes, she did. Yes. She spoke highly, and she said I should call you guys and do it.
Aw, thank
she
you.
She spoke highly of you as well.
Nice.
Well, I like to do what women tell me to do, especially my co-stars, because, it goes a long way, believe me, after all these years. You don't want trouble with your co-stars.
No, and definitely, like I said, I can't believe that it's been 42 years. I mean, does it even seem possible?
No, it doesn't. I mean, it seems like the last 7 or 8 or whatever I've been back. I took a little break for a year or 2, and then I came back when I don't know when was that, 7 or 8 years ago, and now that seems like it's getting to be a long time, but I've kind of forgotten about all of those other years, when we first started in the late 70s, and it just seems like so long ago. So,
yeah. It doesn't seem like 42 years for me. I can't speak for my co-hosts, but I mean, the time actually just flew by, and I think that's true with us in real life as well. And even when you're watching your kids grow up, you know, you're like, wait, what happened? You know, you were babies. Now
they
look.
grow up quickly, I suppose, and then next thing you know, college, and what do you mean you're getting married?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I watched a YouTube video of you with Mary Beth Evans on Merv Griffin from 1985.
Hey.
And Merv called you a show hopper, and you mentioned that you and Mary Beth have very short attention spans. So now, all these years later, do you feel you've changed, or are you still as restless?
It's not the attention span. It's well, you know, it's I don't know. If unfortunately there's not a lot of shows to keep doing anymore. They seem dwindling down, and there's only 4 soaps left. So
right.
I'm glad I got them all in when I was young, and there were shows to hop to, and you know, like, oh, I'll go live in New York for a year or two. Oh, I'll go back to L.A. Oh, I'll go up to Canada. So yeah, there was the options were there. So you know, it's easier to do that jumping when you're young, and there's places to jump to.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah. I know. I put on my website. I think I have 28 soap operas that have been around throughout the years, and being down to 4 is just like mind blowing. And we're very grateful that the 4 are left, and we can still watch.
Yeah, it's nice that there's still, at least each network has one, or, well, CBS has 2, but, yeah, we're all still, each network is represented in that field. So.
Right. And I think that's really important to a lot of fans, that they at least have that to watch, even though we miss some of them that are gone. But I wanted to mention that on General Hospital, to me, there's really been no outward appearance of Scotty minding the single life so much. So what's changed with, you know, Bobby caught the bouquet at Carly and Sonny's wedding, and then you were talking to her, and then she's throwing water or drink at you. I mean, it's been a lot of fun watching you guys together.
Yeah, it's, you know, when we stir up that old pot, you know, of Bobby and Scotty, you know, I mean, there was so much history at the time, and the conniving that she was up to back trying to, you know, get me away from Laura, and now I'm, you know, years later trying to propose to her, and then I'm still trying to work Ava Jerome over, and, you know, so there is a lot of confusion as to, you know, what, then I'm basically trying to get my son back because I've lost too many kids, and so there's a lot of stuff going on, you know, and then you throw a couple of courtrooms, I'm trying to get somebody out of trouble or somebody, you know, so it's still, the Scott Baldwin character is still sort of, you know, in the thick of it from time to time.
Definitely. I took a poll on this, and the choices were Bobby, Ava, or someone new that they would like to see Scotty with. And the results were pretty close between Bobby and Ava, but Bobby won out.
Well, that's good for, but that's because of old time's sakes, and also, you know, quite frankly, Ava, I don't think she really has any interest in Scott Baldwin except for her friend, her confidant, and, you know, someone that can get her out of trouble when she gets in trouble, and she seems to get in enough trouble. So I may be barking up the wrong tree there with Ava, so I don't know, you know, or, you know, some people sometimes say, well, you should make another pass at Laura. Now, I don't know if that can be revisited either, you know. And then there's always Lucy Coe, if she was around a little more. So, you know, she's always a fun one, too, that gets Scotty going. So there, you know, there could be, there's a few.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then,
you
like
have
you
some
said,
to choose from.
there could be a whole new girl out there. Who knows?
Yeah, we never know with soap operas bringing on new people and who they're going to set them up with. It's always a great guessing game when you see that, but the most that it comes down to is chemistry. And I think you have great chemistry with Bobby, but also with Ava. So I wouldn't mind seeing you with either one.
Yeah, Bobby and I have a history of knowing each other. Ava, I get a kick out of her because she reminds me so much of the sort of actresses of the 1940s, the Betty Davises, the Barbara Stanwicks, the ones that were so feisty in their day. They were film noir, and they were just fast talking, and they were theatrical, and so she's a lot of fun to play off of that energy that Maura West has for the whole Eva Jerome is a character to me right out of the 1940s with the martinis and the works, So.
Exactly. I watch a lot of old movies, a lot of the black and whites. They're a lot my favorite, and I can definitely see Ava, being, or Maura West, I should say, being one of those characters back in the day if she was around at that time.
She would. I live on that Turner Classic Movies because most of the stuff today, unless it's some really good stuff, but as a rule, I go there first to see what's up, and I stockpile all of those film noirs and all those good movies, and you just can't go wrong with those actresses from the day. They were so, they had so much on the ball. So any of those women from that era, from the 40s and the 50s, and they just had an edge and a speech about them that was quicker. They're quick.
Right. Do you have a favorite actor or actress from that time?
Well, yes, I have a lot of them because I discover a new one all the time because of there's an actress, Trotter. What's her first name? I just discovered her. I think Annette Bening played her in a movie. She's part of the film noir crowd. I just got into some of her movies recently, but I mean, as far as it goes to Barbara Stanwyck and Veronica Lake and Betty Davis and
Olivia
I just love her. Claudia Colbert. She's great. So I have so many of those favorites that they didn't make any bad movies. So if you see that there's a Clark Gable or Spencer Tracy or any of those women I mentioned, you're going to get a good movie. They just, it was more on the page then, and it was about the acting, and it was about plus, who doesn't want to go back in time like that and, go back to the days when things seemed more fun.
Yeah, my favorites were Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn, and I absolutely loved them together in a movie.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with either one of those. Cary Grant's great. And when you look and you see the way they used to take the cruises, and then the way they used to air travel, and then you look at it today and you go, oh boy, where are those days? I think I'll sit in my back room and watch a Turner Classic and go back to the 1940s and 50s. And when you have those 1950s vivid color movies and the outfits and the costumes were so bright and fun, the cars were great. So yes, I've stepped back in time most of the time. So the thing about a soap opera is you kind of still have that. People are still dressed. They're still having, cocktails. They're still, it's still kind of what's left of the old-time movies is in soap operas, because they're still sort of have a little glamour and a little glitz, and sometimes they can be campy and a little over the top. At least that's what I'm shooting for.
Definitely. I couldn't agree more. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let my co-hosts ask their questions. David's up first.
Okay.
Hey, Ken. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. You too.
So, what do you feel is the greatest accomplishments made in the daytime drama history?
Well, I think that in the late 70s, between 78 and 79, they put a girl on this show named Jeannie Francis, and all of a sudden, kids that were watching with their mothers and grandmothers, they were like, wait a minute, who's that girl? She seems like my age, and she seems to have a lot of problems. So I think that was the greatest advancement made, was taking it into the younger generation. And the only way to get that, and they did it, and that changed daytime television in the late 70s. And, it now is 40 years later, and it got a nice run because they had to introduce it to a younger crowd, and they did. And I don't know if they can do that again, because kids today have got way too many things to distract them. So at that time, it was a great accomplishment to grab a young audience and keep them. And certainly Jeannie was very responsible for that. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's very good.
That's
I
my
have
answer.
to agree with you there.
Yeah.
I have to agree with you there.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Thank you.
So we know that Lee and Gail were so basically important to Scott. So, what are your fondest memories of Peter Hansen and Susan Brown?
When I started on the show, and we were basically live at 2:00, we would tape the show, and then it was a 45-minute show. 2:45, it was done. So when I came in at lunch, the actors that played Peter and Susan Brown, I thought they took off and they went to go play tennis at Griffith Park, and I was astonished at how that they were ready. Then 2 hours later, I was a young actor thinking, oh my God, I couldn't think of this. I'm like, here, where are they going? They're going to play tennis? That seemed so weird to me, but they were so active and fun, and they had already had 30 years of acting under their belts before I came along at 23 on the show. So it just was so new to me and so much work, and so I was astonished that they were able to just shut it off and go play tennis. That is my fondest memory.
Well, I'm sure that you're much like that now, like where you can walk in and do your lines and walk out and then go play on your boat or something.
Yeah, I can do. Yes, I can do that, but we do it with such little rehearsal and stuff that it's still, when you're there to get it done. I always prefer to get it done earlier. I don't like to be at the end of the day because you got all day sitting around, and it's not like the days where you could just go off to a movie. And believe me, I did all that. I went off to a movie during the day. I went off to the to do fun stuff. Yes, I did all that, but now now I'm back to we're kind of locked and loaded to get it done down there, because we're doing a lot in one day. So, there's not a lot of goofing around time to go do, that kind of fun stuff that was going on throughout the day.
Yeah. It's a lot more fast-paced.
Yes.
Thank you, David, for your questions.
Yes, David. Nice questions.
Of course.
Next up is Anthony.
Hey, Ken, how are you?
Anthony, what do you know?
Well, what I know is that Scotty is an amazing character. You know, the fun, the camp, and you can still pull out some awesome dramatic scenes. My first question is in reference to something David said. When you came on, you know, when Scotty came on as the son of two already legacy legendary characters. I'm sure at that point you never would have imagined that you'd become a legacy character yourself, but we mentioned Bobby, Lucy, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention Dominique and all of the children that have passed. So now you're a legacy character. How does it feel, and what were those first days like coming in as such an important role?
Well, to quote Woody Allen, basically underpaid. But, yeah, but, that was his line in that one movie he did, Woody Allen line. But how does it feel to be a legacy character? It's fun, you know. I mean, yes, people have watched and you know, other people have come and gone, and, you know, and it's fun to, I would never have thought, you know, I don't think any of us knew how long that we would be doing this, you know. I mean, General Hospital could have been dropped just like All My Children, One Life to Live 10 years ago, and, you know, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Mm-hmm. So, you know, the fact that the show has stayed and withstood, you know, the different things that it had to withstand to stay on the air, you know, I'm happy that it's still going at 56 years, and, you know, we're all, Jackie and Jeannie and all of us that are still there, you know, we're all happy to still be there doing it and having fun, and you know, we looked for, you know, fun stories to play and stuff that's going to be interesting and going to be fun to do, and, you know, yeah, it's I'm not sure I think I veered off the question.
No, that answers the question. And just a quick personal question: Do you enjoy the camp more or the drama more?
I enjoy the camp. I enjoy, you know, because I'm such a fan of the screwball comedies, and I'm such a fan of the film noir, and I'm such a fan of trying to, and the actors that I used to work with, the Luke Spencers and the Tracy Quartermains. And, you know, they were so campy and fun. And, you know, even Lynn Herring, you know, Lucy Code, that when I don't get a chance to work with her as much, or I wish I had more stuff to do with her, I really enjoy when we can camp it up and find some humor and take it to where it's kind of, there's an entertainment of just fun. You know, the viewers are enjoying this. You know, I would hope that, you know, that's the fun that I think to have, you know. I mean, I always enjoy some of the courtroom stuff because, you know, I'm a big fan of courtroom drama. I started watching Perry Mason when I was about 6 years old. So I'm always a fan of anything to do with courtroom. I think courtroom can be fun if you really attack it right, you know, and you got a lot of good people that are in the courtroom. You know, you got a good opposing counsel, and it's fun.
Awesome.
You know?
Well, I had a whole list of where you've been across the daytime landscape, but instead of going show by show, can you tell us some of your standout moments from other shows that you've done?
You know, the other shows, you know, it was more the actors. Like, you know, I'm still friends with, you know, Martha Byrne from my time on As the World Turns. I had a good time at Young and the Restless when I did that little stint, and I did Texas, and you know, none of it. I think somebody once said, like, what's Scotty Baldwin doing in Oakdale? Because it's like, I'm only as good as being Scotty Baldwin. You know, that's kind of the guy that is the guy I should be doing. The other characters I did in different shows were sort of just me going and living in a different place and working with different actors. But it's kind of if I'm going to be on a soap opera, I should be doing Scotty Baldwin, and that's I mean, I think most actors that have made a certain character their deal, would agree and say, yeah, I'm only as good as the character that people want to see me doing. So.
Yeah. Could Erica Kane be anyone else but Erica Kane? Yeah, we get that.
Yeah, nobody wants to see Erica come and be somebody else. They want to be it's Erica. She's Erica. She's, they're all who they are. You're right.
Thank you so much for my questions.
Well, I'm just saying that even like when Jeannie Francis did All My Children and Days of Our Lives or whatever she did, they wanted her to be Laura. They wanted Laura back on General Hospital, and so her strength was being Laura. My strength was being Scotty Baldwin. Don't get me wrong, I had great time with all those actors, and it was fun doing different shows and being around a different energy, and certainly, living in New York versus L.A. That's for sure. Big difference.
I'm from New York, so I feel you there. I love L.A.
Yeah, I'm not driving to the studio in a convertible Corvette in New York. In New York, you're weathering the weather to get somewhere in a subway.
Yes, lots of walking. Well, thank you, Anthony, for your questions. And next up, we have Candace.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Sneaking by.
Yeah, well, that's how we all are, sneaking by, enjoying life, getting ready for the weekend. That's how I look at it.
I was going to go to Florida, but my brother lives in Fort Lauderdale, and they've got that hurricane now coming their way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, on the West Coast, we don't really hear as much about hurricanes because, we got our own issues with earthquakes. But,
right.
So I'm kind of keeping my eye on that that hurricane down there.
I was when they had said when Pam had said you were going to do the interview, the first thing I think we all thought of was like, is he in Florida? Like, he better not, So, but sending thoughts and prayers to everybody, including your family down in Florida and elsewhere. So my question for you, sir, is if you could be a soap opera writer for General Hospital, what story would you come up with for Scotty Baldwin?
Well, where do we start? Let me figure this out. I mean, all actors on that are on soap operas, especially ones that have been on for a while, they're all always looking and hoping for some sort of story beat. Now, when you stay on there for a while, the story may come through your kids. I mean, when I was young, I certainly caused Lee enough trouble, but that gave the actor Peter things to do, So I need, Franco to have trouble so that I have things to do. I need someone to get in trouble so I have courtroom business. So, it's any character that's on a soap opera is always like, what's coming up? What's next? What's going on? You want that life that you live on a soap opera to be far more exciting than your real life, because then it's fun to go in there and get to do all this stuff, that's going to be fun to do. I don't go. There's no courtroom I'm going to go to in real life and get up and start causing a stink about something in a courtroom. I can only do that on TV. So if they write courtroom, then good. I'm in.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I definitely.
So anything the writers concoct that is fun to do, we all are, sign us up.
Okay.
Bring back Serena.
What?
Back Serena.
Bring back Serena, yes. Now that I don't know why they didn't bring her back. She came in for a couple of shows and she was truly just terrific, and I don't know. I don't know the thinking, but I wish they would.
The thinking process of it, right? And real quick, how proud are you of Carly Shorter, who plays Serena, joining the Army?
Well, her father was a Green Beret. I know that she had the military in her background, and she was, as she grew up and she started to do movies, and she started to star in movies. I went to a movie with her that she was starring in Hollywood a number of years back, and I sat next to her and I looked at her and I said, "Where'd you learn to act like this?" And she said, "From you." I said, "Me?" I was very because she came on General Hospital or on Port Charles when she was like 6, and she kind of grew up, and then she really kind of went on and was Harrison Ford's daughter in a movie. She starred in that Dolphin movie. She, I said I was a better father than Harrison Ford, wasn't I? And she said yes. So, but she was a really spunky girl, and she really enjoyed extreme sports, and she really enjoyed, mountain climbing and rock climbing. So I think instead of waiting for Hollywood to continue to, for the phone to ring, I think she got active, and she's really succeeding at some, she's really working her way in these different, in advanced military tactics. I'm not quite sure what she's doing, but, her mother sent me a picture of her in uniform, and, she really looks good, and she looks strong, and she looks like the military. She's doing it.
Aw, so proud of her. Okay, so my other question to you is, we all can agree that the daytime landscape regarding soaps have changed for the better and sadly for the worse with the cancellation of soap operas. In your own words, what makes the soap genre still beats and continues to live on?
Well, it's a very diehard audience, and the grandmothers and mothers, are trying to, pass it down, and, mom's watching her soap, don't bother her, or I'll join her, I like it too. I mean, it's a, kids that went to college and canceled their classes and, to watch the soaps. Sometimes to put them on is like putting on an old college sweater. It still feels good to I know a lot of people that have watched it for so many years, and now I don't know how much they use the fast forward button, or because now they could watch what they want to watch. If they don't like this story or that story, there they go. I watched General Hospital in exactly 9 minutes now. I watched the whole show. I mean, everybody you'll talk to will say different things because they have the ability to go to what they want. In the old days, you watched it at 2:00 or 3:00, whatever, and you were in for that ride. But then they eventually got the videotapes where people could tape them and come home and watch them at night. So it's all gone in the right direction for soaps to stay on the air and to keep going. I mean, it's still. Hopefully, the networks and the people still want one of them to represent the daytime soap operas that they've represented.
Right.
Or there's always
exactly
the possibility
why we
that game
do this.
shows will come back, or something else will come back. What?
No.
No. Well, let me
go ahead, Candace.
Because I'm out of the four of the hosts, I'm the youngest, and I always say I appreciate the soap genre for a few things. One, like you said, it's a family thing. My great grandmother, she used to watch strict CBS. My mom was ABC, NBC, and I was fascinated by just the alternate universe that all the characters were in that was so rich and so honest. And as time went on, like you said, each network, and I always say this, each network should be proud that they have a soap to represent them that is in the history books. Like General Hospital, as of next year, will be tied with Gone Light for being the longest running current soap opera. And you just think about all of the moments and iconic moments at that. And it's like, you guys, and we always say this, the daytime actors, actresses, the directors, producers, writers, the caterers, the people who, take you guys to work are the hardest working people, and the fan base of these soaps, there's nothing like it. You can compare it to, you got the movie fans, you got the comic book fans, you got the sci-fi. There's no other fan base that is so loyal and dedicated to these shows than the soap fans. And it's a labor of love on both ends. From you guys to us, 5 days a week, year round. Like right now, you guys are taking a break, well deserved, because you guys are constantly at it, giving us the drama, the comedy, the romance, and whatnot. So I also think that's something that contributes to why this genre still beats and will continue to beat, no matter what. So that was just my 2 cents.
Well, I concur with you on that, and as much as the daytime, the network, and the people want to go after younger viewers, I think it's hard to get to. I think you should make. I would think I say make the viewers you have happy. You can't keep trolling for young viewers because I don't know if they're going to. You can't get a kid off their phone to come in and watch a soap opera with your mother. I just think that would be like that's a very difficult thing. If these kids stumble onto it and because it's passed down, then so be it. That's the viewers. That's still you're going to have the viewers that want to watch it with their mother or watch the so. I know that they want to keep getting younger and younger and go after the demographic, but I think that's the toughest thing to do. I think you've got to make the viewers you've got, keep the viewers, keep the veterans that you have, give them something to do, make the fans happy that they see the people that they've been watching, and so that's my feeling is you're gonna if you want to stay at it. That's how you stay at it, I think.
I agree. I agree with you on
that. Do we have time for 100%. One more question?
Pardon?
Yeah, we all agree.
Yes. We all concur, as they say in the legal world.
Yes.
No, that's the medical world. I concur, doctor. I concur. Yes.
Do we have time for one more question, Pam?
Yes. I don't know. Do you?
Well, do you?
It's up to you, Ken.
I'm good.
Okay, well, for me personally, I've been watching since I'm 3 years old. And my 2 iconic standout moments for Scotty are, of course, standing on that expansive green lawn after the wedding and saying goodbye to Dominique. What is your standout Scotty moment?
Well, of course, catching that bouquet and, causing all that trouble and disrupting the whole the wedding and, and causing all that trouble. That was a fun thing to do. I should never have left in the first place. I don't even know why I left, just to go to New York and do another show, and it was kind of a thing. But I've got some great times that I had with the Lee Baldwin character, and I worked a lot with him, and there's a lot of and the Dominique stuff, of course, and the Lucy stuff, and the stuff we did over there. I could go on about I've had so many different people that I've gotten to work with and have fun with, and and a lot of them I miss. I miss Tony Geary. I miss Jane Elliott. I miss them, from our time together. But I still get to work with Jackie, and I still get to work with Lynn, and I still get the ones that are still there. So I got no standout ones. There's just a slew of them. Other than
thank you.
It's kind of hard to pick when you have such great co-workers to work with throughout the years. It would be almost picking your favorite child, which you know you can't do. You know.
Franco.
Yeah.
Franco.
Poor Franco. Now he doesn't
there right
remember
now.
he's Franco anymore. So I don't know what's going to happen to him.
Yeah, what a storyline that is. Definitely. General Hospital keeps us on our toes for sure. And I have one last thing that I'd like to ask you before we let you go, and that is, if Ken were to write a book, what would it be called and why? But also, if Scotty were to write a book, what would it be called and why?
Scotty and his women.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've had such dealings with so many of the different actresses on the show, and so much of it. I mean, I had some of the best fun I ever had in my life working with Robin Mattson when we were Scotty Heather. That was a great time for me as a fun time on General Hospital. We had a riot, and she was a riot, and she still is when I see her. So, yeah, Scotty and his women.
That works.
Wild and crazy, most of them.
And the answer to, if Ken were to write a book, what would it be called?
Oh, he's, Ken's book would be, 42 years and what they call. Some guy once came up to me and said, you're in that thing called, I call them slow dramas. I said, slow dramas? Yeah, they are a little slow. I said, I guess I'm in 42 years in slow dramas. 42 years fluffing around, lathering up in soaps. I don't know. I could come up with a lot of names for 42 years.
Oh, gosh. I love that. Anything you came up with would be perfect. So we would all read it. There's a lot of the actors and actresses from the soaps that come up with books. I know Maurice Bernard is going to be releasing one next year. So
yeah, he's coming out. If anybody ever writes the book of the heyday, I mean, there was a heyday in the 80s and 90s, and back when the Demi Moores and Emma Samms, and I mean, it was wild. It was the Wild West, and I know that the New York actors had just as many Wild West stories too back in the day. One Life to Live, and all in the 80s and 90s. I mean, it was the heyday of soaps, and we were all in it, and it was a great time, and it was great fun, and I enjoyed every moment of it. It was it was it. It was where I wanted to be, and it was fun doing it. So I have no complaints about my years spent in daytime TV.
Well, and that could be a good title to a book, too, so I think you should start writing.
No, don't get me wrong. If I had gone down the movie star, I'm just as happy I've been being a movie star as well. But I'll take soap star. That's that's good too.
Hey, an actor's an actor, and as Candace said, you guys are the hardest working. So you got number one in my book.
Yeah, we do. But you know what? It's a gift. It's kind of a. It's like a guy that goes to the gym and trains to do this, that runs a marathon. Mm-hmm. The cameras, the actors, everybody is at the top of their game, and the machinery that it takes to put this show out, everybody has to be at the top of their game to crank out 135 pages a day. That's right. Just no easy feat. Nobody in a nighttime television or anybody believes that can be done. But I know it's done. It's done. We do it every day when we're there. So it is an undertaking, but it's what you're hired to come in and do, to get it done.
Exactly.
So yes, I thank everybody for thinking that it was that we're it is hard work, but it's fun work too. It's good work.
Well, we want to thank you for taking the time to join us today, and please tell everybody at General Hospital we love them and thank them for all their hard work, and we look to another 40, 50 years of them being on our TV screens.
Right. Now, you guys live on the radio right now? Is this a live radio show,
yes.
or are you guys or is this a tape?
Live, yes.
You're live?
We're live.
Yeah. All right.
You want to give us?
You do what?
Would you like
to
give
us
a shout out to the listeners?
Give you a shout out to the what? Shout out to all the viewers out to the listeners.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, viewers, listeners. The listeners out there. Hello out there, listeners. This is Ken Schreiner, Scott Baldwin signing off.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I enjoyed my time with you guys. Do it again anytime.
We enjoyed you.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Have a good weekend.
As they say, stay tuned. Stay tuned.
We will.
Stay tuned. Same back channel.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Wow, another one under the books, and a really good one.
Wow. Very nice.
Now I can
don't
breathe.
You feel better?
You can breathe.
You know, I love speaking with each and every guest on the show, and, you know, a lot of people don't realize that the nerves kick in right before we start a show.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes you get more nervous with others than you do with some of them, and it doesn't mean that they're any less important. It's just that, you know, some of the guests might be newer on the soaps that you're watching, so you've invested some time in them, but not as much as you would have with, like, our guest tonight with Ken Schreiner. And, you know, I've watched him since day one. Of course, I was still in my cradle at that time, you know.
Well, you're day one anyway.
Yeah, you're day one.
And the wonderful Candace keeps pointing out that she's the youngest one of us. But
I am.
She forgets to mention we're only a couple years older than her.
I just like to point out the reason I say it sometimes is because it's funny, because the reason I say that is because anybody who follows me on Twitter, it's like they said, well, how do you remember this? How do you know all of this stuff? And they're like, are you sure you're your right age? Have you been here before? Were you born previously? And I'm like, no, it's just I literally was raised like my family put me in front of the TV and told me, look, this is General Hospital, honey. You're gonna have to learn this when you get older. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I get that a lot too, Candace, and I
right.
literally tell the story, and it's a God's honest true story. I had to be with my grandmother because my mother went back to work, and from 1 p.m. and at the time, I'm aging myself, but I'm not that far away from you. I'm right over 40. At the time, it was 1 to 5 p.m. There was a show on ABC that people not many people remember after General Hospital, before Oprah, and so from 1 to 5, it was don't make no noise, don't make no mess. Nana's going to leave this out, and this out for you to eat and drink because I ain't getting up. And,
right.
And those people became, those storylines became adventures that little Anthony participated in. When Laura came back from the dead, I was able to stay home from school because me and my nanny were so invested that I was able to stay home from school, and I was so disheartened that she came back for the last camera shot. Like, what? What do you mean, what?
See, I was going to bust out. I remember, because he was talking about the younger and whatnot. I remember now, this is how I did it on my own. I remember cable. Y'all remember that TBS was really special. If you had it in your premium package still, TBS was only, if you paid for it. I do remember the soap opera that he was on TBS that Ken Corday was, I think, the producer on. Mary Beth Evans was on there. John Lindstrom was on there. I remember that because, don't ask me why I remember this, because there was another show on TBS that I used to watch. It was a kid's show, and then at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, depending, sometimes it came on at 7. The show would come on, and I would watch it. And my great grandma was like, "Candace, what are you watching?" I'm like, "A soap opera." Like little 7-year-old Candace watching the soap opera on her own. See, and it wasn't like the General Hospital or anything. So I would like to say I understand what he was saying about the younger demographic. Like that is
it's hard to get that.
It's tough. It's not like back in the day, like what, 20 years? Yeah, actually, if you think about it, 20 years ago
30
was Passions. Well, no, Passions was the last soap to really kind of get the younger demographics to watch because it came on during the summer. It was Passions, and then
Sunset Beach tried it too.
Sunset Beach,
yep.
Port Charles when they kind of turned to the story arc.
Yeah, but Days of Our Lives did a really good job of it about 16 years ago. With the Chloe, Brady,
Philip,
Bell. General Hospital had the Lucky, Nicholas, Elizabeth, Emily, Bold and the Beautiful.
Right.
Back in the Amber days. And
bring
Amber back. Bring Amber and Tony back. Bring Amber and Tony back, please. But they did kick it, but once it went to digital shorts and Instagram stories, and now you can what is it? Not WhatsApp, chat, that other chat one that you can only go for 40 seconds. Who wants to watch an hour? And even with the fast forward button, these kids. I was at my aunt's house recently, and her daughter, they were having a little graduation party, and it was silent.
Because everyone's on their phone.
Silent. And all of a sudden, somebody said one thing, and they all started laughing. And I turned to my aunt, and I said, "What are they doing?" "Well, they're talking to each other." "No, they're not." Yeah, they are on their phone.
Phones, yeah. I think you bring up something, Anthony. Like I was just thinking because General Hospital, I'm thinking General Hospital strictly. They always had the teen storylines front and center. I mean, starting with Scotty and Laura and Bobby. Moving on to like Brenda, Jagger, Robin, and Karen, and all of them, Jason, AJ. Then you went to, of course, the Liz, the Lucky, stuff like that, and Glenn, Dylan, and Georgie. And I think what changed, to be honest, is, and this is my opinion, the introduction of cable a little bit more. Like you had, MTV with their reality shows that was a little bit more branded. Obviously they had Real World Road Rules, but they had Teen Mom. You had a lot of these shows that was kind of in they had the ingredients of a soap opera, but it was like on cable that kind of took away the attention span, if that's the right way of me saying it. Because I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, as Walt Turns had, Gwen and Will. By the way, happy birthday, Jen Landon.
And don't forget Luke and Noah.
Oh, yeah, Luke and Noah. Oh, yes, thank you. And I'm thinking, like all of these shows, and then also think, in all honesty, too, that the writers stopped writing for the younger set because they didn't know how to write for the younger set anymore. If that makes any sense. It's like,
no, it makes a lot of sense, and I've been saying this on my boards and across the board for a couple of years now. General Hospital did an experiment which worked really well for the old-time viewers, but didn't do what they wanted it to do, and unfortunately, it was because they didn't take it in the direction that people expected it to go to. When they did Night Shift, people started to think, "Oh, this is going to be General Hospital After Dark." And, they teased us with the whole opening scene with them being in the shower and this and that. But that was the perfect opportunity to pull in a whole younger set. And now with the digital medium being, Days of Our Lives is doing Chad and Abby in Paris, which I love the extenuating circumstances of the story. But that is a moment where they're not restricted by television regulations. They should have had Chad and Abby and I like the storyline because I know that it's when they appear back on the NBC screen, it's going to be explosive. It's gonna lead into a wealth of storyline. But they could have extended that a bunch of episodes and showed them reconnected, kissing on the top of the Eiffel Tower, running back to their pad, and having mind-blowing relations. I think they need to step into the, right now it seems like there's a triangle between Dev, Jocelyn, and Cameron. So do a bunch of digital shorts and release them that are steamy, that are fun, and get a little bit of interest from the younger sex.
I would like to see Molly and TJ.
I would like to see Molly and TJ too.
Yeah,
absolutely. Take someone like Days of Our Lives, for instance. Take someone like Brady, who has had nothing but, romantic flubs.
Trouble.
And post him
Failures.
at night, having this new romance on screen during the day, and then give us some after dark where it goes where they can't go during the day. Because Brady's still hot. He'll still catch the younger viewers, and he's still got the older viewers. On General Hospital, you could do that with somebody like,
Michael,
not so much. The character wouldn't translate to that kind of stuff after dark. Maybe break up Peter and Maxie and do it with Peter. There might be some fire under him with the right person. On The Bold and the Beautiful, I'm sure we all know who would work that really, really well. Take Steffi completely out of the Liam Hope mix. Find her, it's L.A. Find her a male model, aspiring actor that just makes your heart ba-bum, 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 and give us some answers.
Well, they did have that. But they did have that. They had Leo. And, we thought they were going to do, they had something with the actor who played Leo and Steffi. But somehow, some way, it got lost in translation. I don't know. I voted for him to be on the show when I took the survey, but that was just me. But, I don't know. Like, I still wish ABC would bring back, I always thought that they should bring back The City because it would be, and I always thought that it would be a mixture. Because, The City, the original City, for those who remember, it was a mixture of a little bit of General Hospital, All My Children, Loving, and a little dash of One Life. And I always thought that if they could, what they could do is, they could have Lucas and Brad before, if they survive. Felix, like, use some of the younger set that you're not using on General Hospital and transfer them over to The City. And you could actually have had, and I'm so glad Ken Shriner said this about Serena Baldwin, you could have had the epic Michael, Serena, Maxie triangle, which would have been, for the viewers, you have a Quartermain / Corinthos, you have a Jones, and you have a Baldwin. If that doesn't, see.
The thing with The City and Port Charles were they both came out and did really well their first year. But they were both experiments that were a couple of years too early. Had they have come out a couple of years later, both of those shows would have done really well. If Port Charles would have debuted around the same time Passions did, it would have exploded. And it would have been able to support, especially when it turned over to, fully the 13-week arc method. I always thought the whole telenovela way of telling stories is where soap opera should want to try to go. But, they tried it. They don't want to try it again because it failed. And, if they do,
and it's funny about The City.
That they bring back either both or one of, I can't see them at this point bringing One Life to Live back because there's no one left. There's hardly anyone left to play.
I can see it if they focus on the young, like we just now said, the younger generation. We could have, Star, and, it was said on General Hospital from Nora that Matthew is getting married. So let's pick up on the first episode. If they were to do let's try 30 minutes. Just hypothetically, if they were to say we're going to bring back One Life to Live for 30 minutes, open it with the wedding. Have that be your brand, debut is Matthew's wedding. You can have, the Buchanans. You can insert old characters and new characters. That way the audience can get a history lesson as well as meet new characters. And then go from there. ABC, call me.
Yeah. Call all of us. Yeah.
Even for the city, I got something. Yeah, because the city, you're right, because the person the filming of it, that was from the real world, and there was only like a month difference between the debut of the city and the real world. So, yeah, it did come out a little too, but, man, the city was great. I miss you, Ted King.
Yeah. You mentioned it when we had Laura right on. That iconic, her rollerblading, and I mean, it just was so fresh. And so, when you were looking at a show that had recently ended, Ryan's Hope, who to its dying day was classic soap. It looked old.
Gosh, I love
it felt
that soap.
old, but it was so comfortable. But then you looked at something like The City, and you were like, what? And all my children tried it a couple of years later. But they didn't. It just wasn't. That whole live action filming. It just didn't try. The City was just so good. It really was. And then when they brought Jane Elliott on, oh my god.
It was almost like a Mary Tyler moment where she's throwing her hat into the air, in New York City. Yes. That's what The City reminded me of,
Yeah.
And it was just. It's sort of like what Bold and Beautiful is right now. Like, Bold and Beautiful right now is set in real time, in Los Angeles. And with The City, it was New York. And it wasn't, it was just, they showed, oh, my gosh. I'm sorry, I want to get teary-eyed because I missed The City. And I think that it shouldn't have ended. But that was ahead of its time. And it sometimes doesn't get the credit that it truly deserves. I always say that. The City and Loving. Loving had the best murder mystery storyline ever. Yes. That's how you wrap up a soap show. Can we have a Loving episode or something?
But the thing about that no one ever discusses about Loving that I feel that we need to point out to people that never knew Loving is Loving ended the way it started. Loving started on a murder mystery, too.
Yep.
Gwen and when Loving came on, it came on to tremendous fanfare as well. You had the whole Tucker, what was it, Tucker, Noelle, what was her character's name? Oh, my God. Trish. Tucker, Trish, Rachel. You're the murder mystery going on. I mean, people looked at Loving like they looked at The City like, wow, this is the next generation of soaps. What's going on here? We need to tune into this. They started with a murder mystery and ended with a murder mystery.
Yep. And if you've never seen the Loving pilot, I highly recommend you go on YouTube because it's on there with Laura Bridges. Yes, he's on there. Yes. I saw it. And it came on as just like, Port Charles, a 2-hour TV movie on ABC Sunday night. And the first episode was on Monday. I was only how old I was.
Does anyone remember the General Hospital Friday night special when Luke and Laura came back?
What? Not Twist of Fate. Because Twist of Fate was when they was leaving town and they set up stuff on with blowing up Laura. I remember that one too. Let's see, the Pink Cadillac.
Yep.
Remember the pink? Yep. I remember how big that was. I remember, I think that's what irks me now about the way that some of the soaps aren't marketed on networks, Days of Our Lives, sorry, is I remember when Luke and Laura came back, it didn't matter what time it was on ABC, they were promoting that. They was like, daytime's hottest couple is coming back to General Hospital. Look for them on Roseanne. Look for them on, and I'm like,
I remember that.
Yeah, they did that cross country road trip, and they were popping up. Yeah. They were popping up tiny little snippets of not even full clips. Just where are they commercials during all the primetime shows? Yeah.
Mhm.
And just recently, ABC had the chance to really show love to its longest running show ever.
Mm-hmm.
And they had Chandra Wilson, who is a diehard General Hospital fan, on not once, but twice. And instead of having her, and I love the Sydney character that she played, don't get me wrong, but why couldn't they license Dr. Bailey to come in?
They're right across the street. The studio lot. Grey's Anatomy is right across the street from General Hospital. I've been saying that for years, Anthony. You've heard me say it too. I'm like, I don't understand why ABC could not have it, like, during the day, like an epic television event. Why am I going to talk like an announcer? Where Bailey comes to Port Charles for a medical conference and meets up with Kim and something, and a patient has like a heart transplant, like a piece of wood is stuck in their chest or something like that, and it's up to Lucas Jones to go to Seattle.
Wait a minute. They have the perfect storyline right now.
I sign up.
They have the perfect storyline right now. With Franco.
No, we got to get Jeff Weber to come and do that. Hence why Michael E. Knight. Come on now.
Let's hope that's who Michael E. Knight is coming on to
play.
Let me
pray. Pray. Just like with NBC.
We know. We don't know yet who he is. Yeah.
No, we don't know yet. Well, it's General Hospital.
We
Shalow's daddy.
We don't have our queen with us tonight, and we are praying for Florida. But I want to ask you guys, was it everything you hoped it to be, the reveal in Salem?
Wasn't everything we hoped it would be?
Yeah.
I was happy with it.
I was.
I have to eat my words on one thing, okay? I don't like flashbacks. As wasting, I'm sorry, but I personally feel like it's a waste of I understand why they do it, and a well-done flashback to something a couple of weeks ago, or to really emphasize an emotional moment. Okay, I get that. But for the most part, like, if you're showing me what happened yesterday and what happened on Monday, I'll watch, baby. I don't need that. However, when they came on Friday and gave us the entire scene all over again, I said, oh, yes, because like iconic moments like that, I still to this moment watch Maura West screaming at that body bag and Kiki. I still every once in a while put that on.
That's some epic. That's like,
I still watch Sammy. I watch that whole hour. Every once in a while, I need that whole hour, the dream sequence where Sammy finds out about EJ and Abigail. That is one of the, my God, iconic shows in the last 10 years. That show was amazing. Why she didn't get nominated, that's besides the point. I still every once in a while put on Karen on the stand.
Oh, God.
You want me to say I was a hooker?
Wait a minute. Anthony, you got the wrong iconic moment. It's this. Can you hear me? It's me. It's me, Vivian. Can you hear me? Can you hear me in there?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When they gave us that whole entire scene again, I was like, yes. Because that was perfect soap. It was classic, it was fresh, but it was classic. Perfect soap scene.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm just glad the reveal is finally over with, because you get so involved. I know I do. I get so involved, and it's like watching a movie, an action movie, where there's a bad guy, and you just can't wait until they get caught, and they keep doing more evil things and more evil things, and you're like, come on already, you gotta get them. And so there's that payoff at the end, and that's how I feel. Yeah, that's how I felt about watching this Kristen storyline. It's like, come on already. But I need some kind of payoff that she pays in some way.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. I agree. That's why I'm kind of like iffy about the reveal. Good acting from everybody, you know, but it's just
Drake was robbed.
Yeah, he was. Here's my thing. I love you. First and foremost, Ron, I love you, but, you know, I'm going to call you out. He doesn't do a complete payoff the way that it's supposed to be done. And that's what's like right now, you know, everything is Days is about to hit that reset button real soon as of Tuesday. Okay? As of Tuesday, it's going to be starting with a reset because Robin Strasser starts as her Vivian on Tuesday. So, you know, we're getting ready to say goodbye to some people, and they're going to have to reset some storylines. But the thing is that we need the in-between. Like, okay, what's going to happen? Is she going to get her due? Like, is she going to pay for any of her crimes? You know, we all know what's going to happen when Nicole comes back. Right. I love you. I missed you so much. Me, you, and Holly can be a family together. And then Sarah's going to be like, hey, what about me? I dumped my man for you. Like, and then Xander is, I'll be with you in just a moment. Give me that mask. Like,
well, honestly, I hope Nicole comes back damaged. I do. You know, for Ari Zucker, I think, you know, she really relished coming back. The reason she came back is because they offered her this chance to play Nicole as Kristen Nicole. So, you know, first and foremost, I hope they give her some juice to play because, you know, I want her on my screen. She's one of those people, she's one of those characters that I want on my screen. So I hope they give her some real juice to play, and I hope she comes back damaged just to give us, you know, investment. If she's immediately, I love you, Eric, and all's well and all's right in the world, I'm going to feel cheated. So, yeah. I do want
story.
Real quick. Yeah. I want to congratulate Ron and the writers, whoever came up with a certain idea. There is one, I want to talk about the elephant tusks that were in the room. I almost fell off I did fall off my couch when they had Susan come in, and she said she gnawed through the rope with her teeth.
Oh, yeah.
They finally addressed the elephant in the room. I was like, oh, yes, thank you. And then again on Friday, that whole scene with her, Will, and Sonny, I was just like, and they let her be a hero. I just thank you for that. Thank you, Ron, and whichever writer came up with that, give that man or woman a bonus. Whoever came up with have her gnaw through the ropes with her teeth, they need a bonus. Give them an Olive Garden gift card and say, you done good.
I love the scenes of Will and Sonny and Susan together. I think those are the best scenes when Susan is on canvas.
Oh, my God. Do you remember Susan and Victor? There is nothing that they can't do with that character.
Was good, too. That was good, too.
Oh.
That was good, too. He couldn't stand her. She made him nuts. He was always rolling his eyes.
I know. He doesn't have to see.
There's nothing that they can't do with that character. Why they keep sending her away boggles me. Leave her on.
That's what she's supposed to be with EJ. What was the line?
With Roger, yeah.
It was like, I mean, here's the thing. This is what Days really needs to do. Like, I know that Days right now is going through some things. Okay. But if you're going to constantly have these people, like, the next go-around is who's going to be the next person they bring back from the dead. All right. I'm still waiting for them to either, A, go ahead and recast the role of EJ, because I still feel slightly cheated out of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
okay. I feel more than slightly cheated, yes.
But it's like, okay,
I think that if they weren't going to bring him back in some form or another, that they should have just left him dead.
Right. Thank you.
I thought they were. I read.
Okay.
That was a while back.
Okay.
I thought they were bringing him back.
Where did you read that?
I did hear something about that too.
So here's the behind the scenes.
I can't remember where.
Allison Sweeney hadn't signed on to come back. She was basically kind of dipping back and forth. And then Hallmark Channel handed her another contract for another set of movies. So she didn't say, no, I won't do it, but no, I can't do it on a full-time basis. And I think, I don't know this for sure, but once that happens, that's when they scrapped that whole
idea.
Right.
Oh, okay.
She has told them, I will come back as much and as often as you want me to, schedule permitting, but I'm not ready to come back full-time yet.
And see, this is where okay, I got to jump on the bandwagon because, a lot of people on social media, some of y'all are crazy, but like with Chabby in Paris, okay, I know, speaking for me, I love the idea of this because we get to see what's been going on outside of Salem. Okay. If because of Allison's schedule and, whatnot, I do think the next digital should go to eJammy. I think if they, like I said, if they can't get James back, by the way, I'm curious to this because, James is doing some appearances lately. So what's up with that? I don't know. But if they can't get him back, do 6 episodes to let us know what, Sammy and EJ's been up to. If EJ has come back to, being his normal self. Has Susan, you can actually do it. You can work around, obviously, let me see. Billy and Kate did this in June. It came out earlier this month. So, I mean, I just feel as though as an eJammy fan, I want to know what happened. Where are we at now? And yeah, if it's, open, leave room for, whenever or however they can come back for Christmas of 2022. That's fine. I just feel as though that's something that they sometimes don't do so well is fill in the blank after a reveal or a return. It's like,
yeah.
Like the Teresa.
Speaking of that whole digital short thing, where we were talking about the younger viewers before, here's, and General Hospital did it really well with Ricky Martin. Grab someone like a Shawn Mendes and, and pay the budget and get him to come on for a digital portion and have Sierra, Ben, and whatever interact with that kind of with a character based on Shawn Mendes in a digital and fold that into the daytime show. And, Ben and Sierra are so
you got to wait 8 months for that. Got to wait 8 to 9 months for that.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. If the storyline wasn't where it was right now. Yeah. On General Hospital, it would be Josh and Deb and Cameron. You know what I mean? And instead of being a Shawn Mendes, make it Carmela, what is her name? The one that was on with him at the Video Music Award.
Yeah. Yeah, half of those people I did not know. That makes me feel a little bit old. I didn't know any of those people. I knew some of them, granted. I knew some of them, but not all these new artists. But I get what you like, a new artist that's relevant to today's youth to be on it. Like what how they used to do on General Hospital by having 98 Degrees and having Neo on All My Children. Something like that to kind of connect to the audience and get you.
Yeah, didn't they do that on All My Children on Prospect Park?
They did
with AJ and Miranda.
They did.
They brought
that
a group on.
A lot. Yeah, they had them. They had Neo at the wedding. Guy Light had some people. I mean, all these soaps used to do that. They used to have whoever was hot. Even though I'm still mad that one soap did not have Britney Spears on there, I'm not going to call that soap out, but it's still on to this day. But they had Katy Perry on there. I'm not going to say anymore. Sorry, I gave it away. I'm sorry.
But if General Hospital could bring back Piccolella, why doesn't someone revive the record company? he's not paying no more, and he's not really doing much in ELQ, so why doesn't he say, well, hello, let me bring back my record company?
They should have Brooklyn on there. Like, I'm still mad they don't have Brooklyn. Like, Brooklyn could be, she could come and be the manager of the record label and, like, seduce Cameron. I don't know.
No,
Well, before we jump off the reveal
Dante
bandwagon, let's jump over to L.A. for a second. How do you guys feel about the fallout from so far from that reveal?
Fallout.
Okay, girl, go ahead.
No, I like how you said it. The fallout when Thomas fell. I'm sorry.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, it's perfect. That was a perfect perfect soundbite. Or the push out, however
Okay, first and foremost, Bold and Beautiful really needs to invest in gates around people's houses because everybody is falling over the cliff. Deacon, you see, Steph. I mean, everybody's pretty much falling over there. Ridge, Rick. Look, here's the thing, because I know this is like the biggest debate going on right now. Did Brooke intentionally mean to push him? Look, I'm going to say this. I love the fact that, first and foremost, if Matthew Atkins does not get a pre-nod or anything for his portrayal of Thomas next year, I'm crying foul like nobody's business. I'm sorry. That boy has definitely showed that he can handle this material. As far as this, look, at the end of the day, Brooke was protecting her child. And
I don't think she intentionally meant to push him over. She was pushing him away to protect Hope. That was it.
Yeah. I mean,
and if anybody sees it differently, I don't see how they see it differently.
Here's the thing, Pam. I actually can see both sides because I actually rewatched it. And obviously what's happening. First and foremost, Hope there. She left her child unattended. I don't know if anybody's going to pick up on that, but okay. So when you're a parent and you see somebody that's already caused your daughter harm with your daughter at present moment, you go into mommy mode.
Candace, come back to us.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Can you
go ahead.
Okay. If you see your child in some kind of danger with somebody that's already put your child through so much, you go into mommy mode. You block out whatever it is that's going on if it's just, them talking. I saw that part. When I saw the next time around, I saw where, Thomas did kind of let go of Hope, but he was also trying to, he was trying to grab Brooke from, to stop touching him. And then, it was just a lot of back and forth. But no, I don't think Brooke meant to push him over. Now, here's where I have my gripe at. It's with Ridge. Because when Ridge gave her the look and was saying all this, like, my son could be dead, I wanted Brooke to say, and you did the same thing to my son. And what? You did this to Rick, not once, but twice, and you made him paralyzed. So, if anything, I love this part of the story because now we're seeing Catherine Kelly Lane and Thorsten Kaye performance now. And I like Brick. I love Brick, Brooke and Ridge, but they did need some angst. I'm curious to see how far this goes and how Thomas will play obviously Thomas is playing a role into their relationship right now, but I want to see what else he does to them.
Yeah, like when he wakes up, is he going to say Brooke intentionally did it and blame her and,
or is it going to be something else? Like, Thomas wakes up and says, I want to talk to Brooke. Well, here's what I'm also thinking.
Or is this going to be Thomas's get-out-of-jail-free card, so to speak?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is he going to try to redeem himself at that point and stick up for Brooke? And
or he's going to try to tell Brooke, if you convince Hope to stay married to me, and if you don't, I'm going to send you to jail.
Yep, that could happen too.
I just can't wait for Stuffy to find out and beat his butt. Yes.
I know, right?
Yeah, I know it.
So we're counting down on some time here. I mean, we've got a half hour left, but this wasn't an intentional soap show, but it went into that, which was a lot of fun. But I think we should wrap up for now and leave all the juicy stuff for the next time we're on air.
Oh, man, we're not going to talk about Young and the Restless. Thank God. Yeah, we got to
Okay, go ahead.
We got to talk about
that. No. I got nothing. And I'm trying, you guys. I'm trying. The only thing I can say is Jason Thompson, come through, buddy. And that's the only. I feel bad. I feel like I'm turning against Young and the Restless Nation, but it's not my fault. Anthony, I think you guys feel the same way. It's like some of these stories does not add up, and I feel as though he's going to retcon Devon's will, unless the saving grace is Chance wants money to gamble, and Adam is going to help him. But like I was telling somebody, if there was an issue with the will, where's Murphy at? Where's Tucker? When the courts tagged it Murphy and Tucker regarding the will?
Yeah.
Mhm.
See?
You would think.
Mhm.
Because I love that line that Devon said when Elena said, "How long has your grandmother been gone?" And he's like, 6 years. Yeah, 6 years. So I don't know why they're bringing up something from 6 years ago. I was like, me too, Devon. Me too.
Yeah, he said
like,
what everybody was thinking. Yeah.
So that's the only thing that can save it is if they have, like, Adam and Chance working together, and Chance wants the money because he wants to gamble, and Adam is going to help him. Because pretty much if we're going based off of what is being said about Chance, Adam saved his freaking life, and now Chance owes him because Adam saved him, if that's what we're going by. So,
right.
Yeah. That's all I got. I mean,
yeah. Well, I just started calling Billy Willie for his second personality as the gum chewing Willie.
All right, Jason Thompson.
He's supposed to buy double mint. Or extra chewing gum. I don't even know what to say about that story. I tweeted this out and I got a lot of heat from it. I said, watch them recon this storyline and say that Billy was the one that hit Delia. Don't ask me how, you guys, but I can't trust the writing because I feel as though they're going to say that Billy blocked that out of his memory, and that's what created his alter, sort of like General Hospital with Luke and Fluke.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Because,
there's one thing.
You know,
maybe it's just, Billy's never actually paid for it. Fans have spoken out and said, well, Adam gets all this because he ran Dee Dee over, but Billy is facing his guilt for leaving her in the car in the first place, and he has never paid for it, and maybe that's what fans want to see now, is maybe that's the guilt taken over of her leaving her in the car in the first place. Not that he ran her over.
It's a little too late. But here's the thing. If anybody remembers, there was an actor named Justin Hartley who played the role of Adam. And during his stint, they had him come to terms with Delia's death. They had him and Adam, him and Billy actually talk about it and own up to it. And for some reason, that's why, and I want to give a shout out to some people who showed the receipt by the video clips and posted it on YouTube, because fans were like, wait a minute, hold up, it did happen. Young and the Restless, Josh needs to stop trying to make people forget about the previous storylines with Justin Hartley's version of Adam, because they were, we had the forgiveness between Nick and Adam and Billy, Adam, Chloe, Adam and there was some healing. There was some growth. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know
was.
what's going on right now. I don't know.
I have a question.
I don't know.
I have a question because I have a theory. Where was Victoria when Dee Dee when she was killed?
Okay, Nikki was on the road. She was driving drunk. Victor was at the thing. Victoria was. Let me see. That was around the Was that around the JT time? Wait a minute. Hold up. No, that was. Let me see. Because no, that wasn't with JT. Because when they went to the hospital, Victoria was there at the hospital. I think Victoria was home with the kids. I think she was there I want to say with Reed for some reason. I want to say Reed.
Okay,
because
so
I remember Chloe and Kevin was at the movies.
Yeah. Here's my theory. If Adam wasn't the one who hit her, the most likely suspect is Nikki. But that wouldn't splinter. We don't want to go there because that's just another murder under her belt that she won't pay for. She is the serial killer of daytime. But I'm laughing as I say that. But there's a million reasons why we don't want to go there. But also it wouldn't explain a fractured personality. He wouldn't at that time have had enough of an emotional connection with Nikki that it would have fractured his personality. However, it could be explained away if it was Victoria.
See, I think what the problem is that if this story was 2 years ago, then yeah, okay, for them to talk about it now, that's fine. This happened, 6, 7 years ago?
7 years ago.
So,
yeah.
14?
You can.
No, wait, no. 13.
No, it's been like
12 or 13.
It's somewhere like I want to say we'll just say between 7 and 10 years maybe at the most. The problem is that there's been so much story development that happens after that storyline with Chloe, Kevin, Billy, the whole Newman family, the Abbey family. It's like they really are trying, and I understand, when a writer comes back, they want to recon certain stories to fit their mode, their vision of it. The problem is that we all was emotional when Delia died. We felt Chloe's pain when she realized that she wasn't there for her child. We felt the pain of Billy, owning up, kind of like saying, well, I shouldn't have done this. I was just trying to give her some ice cream and I left her in my car. He felt that guilt. I don't understand why we have to go. I don't understand. You can have, like I said, with Billy, you can have post-traumatic stress triggered. If we were going to do a DID, it should have been Victoria, who the show has neglected to follow through with how she's been doing since it's been a year since her attack with JT.
Right.
So to me, I feel as though right now, Young and the Restless, I mean, if I wanted to go back in time, I would have just watched YouTube. I don't. These two stories that are happening right now, the Billy revenge on Adam and the Devon stuff, that's 2013. That should have been taken care of. Yes, I love the scene where Chloe said, when Billy said Adam's return triggered all of this. Boom, there you go. That was it. Seeing Adam coming back triggered Delia's memory. We don't need this DID thing. I'm sorry, we don't.
We don't.
But like I said, Jason
we know
Thompson,
we can do it, but we don't need it.
Yeah. Jason Thompson, go ahead and get that Emmy nod, baby. Get that Emmy.
Yeah. I do, however, have to say that I like the last scenes with Christian, Nick, and Adam. I
yeah.
Want to,
that
give a
was
shout out.
good. That was good.
Mhm. I still can't buy this new Chelsea though.
No, me either.
I don't.
Me either.
There's there's pieces of old Chelsea. Like, I see it, but then I'm like, no, girl, no, you were no saint. You are not Nikki Newman. You're not a saint. No. Girl, bye. Wait. And Nick, you're not a saint either. Just want to point that out. But Phyllis is giving me life. What?
Since we've done 3, we might as well hop over to Port Charles real quick. We discussed Billy Miller on the last show, but I
miss you, Billy.
Really,
I miss you, Drew Kane.
Yes, very much. I'm still
Now
smiling.
always and forever.
I can't even talk about it. I'll cry.
Come on, I'll cry with you.
I know.
Okay, so the fan boards are up in arms for a bunch of different things. The first being that everybody believes he's gonna be killed in Africa, and having him goodbye on the elevator was a letdown, and if you kill him off screen, you are really, really pissing off a huge portion of the fan base. The other thing that everybody seems to be blowing up about, which I myself am like stymied and stumped, and I've watched the show since I'm 3 years old, and very rarely has General Hospital stumped me this I feel like I'm watching Beavis and Butthead. What is Peter what the hell is Peter why? Everyone knows what you did.
I didn't hear that last part.
I know it.
What is so what?
Why is Peter so feared? Because everyone knows.
Yeah, that's the part I don't get either.
And
Welcome
if
to
there's
the world of recon.
Yeah,
and if there's some big secret
too.
that's going to come out about it, it's going to be another General Hospital flub. Like, wait a minute. You're going to rewrite history because there's no secret that can be uncovered with the way that storyline went down. So if they do pop in another secret, it's only going to piss the fans off more because we lived through it, waited for all. Go ahead, girl.
Anthony, you just repeat what you just said. It's going to piss fans off if they rewrite that history. Have we not learned in the last 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5 years that General Hospital has been doing that? The thing is with Peter, look, I don't think the boy needs to be on the show anymore. I mean, the character. Acting-wise, I love you, you know that, but, you could have been a Lucky Spencer. Peter, they're keeping Peter around for whatever God knows. I don't know why so Jesus wants him to still be around. The thing is when I saw the scenes, I'm like, wait, doesn't everybody know what you did or your involvement? Like, I don't understand that. Like, what's going on? Like, are you waiting for Nola to come back for them to continue with the story? I don't know. I don't understand what's going on with the storyline. Yeah, I'm going to be pissed if they have Drew Kane go off to Afghanistan and get blown up. I'm going to be heated because it's like you wasted 2 years of storytelling that you could have done. You could have had an epic triangle. You could have had good story from Steve, Kelly, Becky, Roger, and Billy, and you didn't do it. So you know what? Do you, General Hospital? Do you? But Roger and Becky better get some kind of acknowledgement from it. Acting-wise is good, but story-wise, I'm like, they're reconning the story. They're reconning it.
Well, I'm going to disagree with getting rid of Peter, the character. There could be a lot more storyline for him if they write it well. I like him. I like him on there. I like him with Maxie, and that's it.
But the writer transition starts soon because let me see. Shelley Altman is leaving. Well, her stuff should be wrapping up soon, and the new co-head writer starts.
Dan.
I want to say next month. Or maybe, next month because it's September. Duh. So there's a lot that they need to fix like the new co-head writer, and I hope. I don't even know on that show what story needs to be fixed first. Or what character needs, well, no, I do. Sasha. With the bird flu.
Do you think she's gonna die?
No, she's not gonna die. Pam?
No.
Okay. Sasha is
she's not gonna die because there needs to be a big payoff to her not being Nina's daughter story.
She's Cassandra's daughter. There, I said it, folks. She's Cassandra's daughter. I'm calling it now. That girl is Cassandra, a.k.a. Jessica Tuck, who could have been Megan's Megan's twin cousin from Landview who came to Port Charles, and she could be, who's the father? God darn it. Valentine could be the father.
Valentine.
There.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
But why would she kill her own daughter? So she probably doesn't know that it's her daughter?
Because Helena, remember Helena? Yeah, right, yeah. There you go. Yeah, yep, mm-hmm. Yep.
And Willow
is
Nina's daughter.
Or are they going?
Although,
wait a minute. Are they going to recon?
I think Nell would be a better choice. But go ahead.
I'm thinking they're going to recon that of having Nina and Willow be mother and daughter, and I think, let's see, I'm going to say they're going to still have somebody come in to be Nina's daughter, because even though they kind of played the Willow Nina stuff, they haven't really been doing a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel as though like right now should be when we start coming to terms that Sasha is not Nina's daughter, and have insert Willow always being around Willow being around Nina a lot, like just various like random run-ins. You know, it's like Nina's like, why are you always here when I'm here? And Willow is like, well, why? It's a public place. Why are you always around? So you kind of get the build up of them being mother and daughter, but I don't feel that right now.
Well, I hope I miss, as crazy as this sounds, I miss Nell Benson. The little snippets we get to see of her are fun, but bring her back on contract, have the baby storyline explode, and then bam, oops, she's Nina's daughter. Talk about an umbrella storyline.
I can see that, but General Hospital doesn't know how to do umbrella storylines.
Exactly. Have Anna Devane find out somehow, either accidentally or because after all said and done, you know, she wants to get Valentine, and in the process of getting Valentine, she finds out who Nina's real daughter is, and bam, it's Nell Benson.
Wait a minute, but before Anna does that, we need her to find out that Peter is you know, we need to get that cleared up. That we need Finola to do a double duty storyline of Anna and Alex coming to Port Charles and meeting Peter, and then that whole thing happens first. Let's clear that up. And we can also say, like everybody has been speculating, they were the first set of twins for the mind mapping thing. Let's clear that storyline up. Is that Anna and Alex was the first trial experiment for the mind mapping. Have Anna and Alex, and hey, you know what, Kimberly McCullough, come back to General Hospital because we're going to need Robin for this. When, you know, everybody finds out about Peter's paternity, then, you know, you can have the epic sense, Pam, like Peter and Maxie, where Peter's like, I don't know who I am. Have that moment where we really get to see Wes, you know, acting, and we can have Maxie says, well, I know you. You may not be perfect, but I love you. And, like, have a little montage of, you know, the couples being all happy and stuff. And then you can have Nina walking in on Valentine saying, you know, something like, I paid her enough money to pretend she's Nina's daughter. Boom, cliffhanger Friday.
Okay, shout out once again to the great Kathleen Gaddy. Between playing baseball, Googling and Oogling over Jacks, smacking Franco, I mean,
like Moonstruck.
You know,
everybody was saying, Franco, that was epic.
Everybody was saying what's left to do with this character, and you know, in the last couple of weeks, she almost blackmailed Brad, and then got cut at the hip. They're even, basically, so to speak. Then she's playing baseball. Then she's mooning over
Jack.
There is nothing they can't give this woman that she can't play.
Oh, definitely.
Nothing.
Definitely. She can do anything, and she is one person that if ever leaves my screen, the whole world will hear me screaming.
What did y'all think about Cameron and Frank and Drew?
That
when
was
Cameron was trying.
That was heartbreaking.
I said this a couple of months ago, during when Oscar, when it came out that Oscar was asking Cameron to take care of Jax, and Cameron had those moments with Oscar. This is a boy that we need to seriously watch. He's dynamic.
Getting there.
He is absolutely dynamic.
He truly is,
scenes,
and I think he deserves an Emmy.
Yeah.
Yeah. When
Please
he was crying,
don't let them merge that.
Yeah, when he was crying, don't do this, with Dr. Cabot. I mean, the boy is dynamic, and they need to recognize. I love the triangle. Don't get me wrong, but part of me is just like we had Stone. And they're making references to it, so it's not only us fans seeing it. They're shoving it down our throats. I don't really have a need for Dev. The chemistry
Anthony,
between.
Hush your mouth. That's Brenda's son. Shh. We're gonna get to that. That's Brenda's son. Just wait. It's Brenda's son.
I hope. Oh my God, I hope. But
right, I'm praying.
The dichotomy of
Brenda.
I can't love you because you were too involved with me and Oscar, and yet I can't stay away from you, would be a story that captivates so much more than this weird limbo shit that now they're not going to school, and it all kind of makes sense, but it doesn't make sense in the soap world. You know what I mean? There should be this pull between the two of them, the push and pull, and play on that, and they're both such strong, dynamic actors. Can you see that scene where, he's like, but just give me a chance, and she's hot. I want to, but I can't. Don't you understand the power that the two of them have in their acting abilities? They would crush us.
Yeah, but we can only dream it.
General Hospital. Please give Candace and I a call. Please.
I got
you take a leave
for
of
days.
absence, Candace? Can you take a leave of absence and come out with me to California?
My boss will let me too. That's the thing. Because think about it. This is why I want Dev to be Brenda's son. Can you imagine Carly's baby girl in love with Brenda's son and Elizabeth's son? That right there is that is like
not to mention Sonny is now invested in Brenda's son. Her whole world would go into chaotic orbit.
The only thing would make it better is if they age Robin's son and have him come on and make a play for John. Oh my God, let me pass out right now. Hold up. Whoo! Carly's daughter involved with Brenda's son, Elizabeth's son, and Robin's son. Lord, that would be
God.
And at the same time, bring Brooklyn Ray Seltzer back as Emma. No, I was just going to say, and have Brooklyn Ray Seltzer come back as Emma and be like, wait a minute, what happened? I'm older than you. What happened? Well, Dr. Andre Maddox was experimenting with grow-up serum. I was grown up.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Can we, wait, hold up. Can we have him on our show now? Can we have him, like, on General Hospital? I miss him. I miss him. I miss Steven. See, there's a lot of people in jail that should be out by now on General Hospital. There's people who should be on General Hospital that aren't on General Hospital. there's certain lookalike people in Paris with somebody named Rebecca Shaw that should be on General Hospital to really screw with Cameron's head. That's another question. Does Cameron know his biological father?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Because he's starting to act like Xander. Right. Okay.
They've never referenced that on camera.
Yeah, they don't. So we have no clue where he is as far as knowing much about his father.
Because he knows about Lucky. He knows about Rick, I'm assuming. But I thought it should have been perfect when Cameron got arrested and Alexis was representing him. Like the show could have made a mention to Alexis saying, "Oh, I used to represent your father too." Like, come on now. Like, yeah, okay. So I'm just saying.
All right. Last thing with General Hospital. What's going on with this baby? Are we interested, first off? And second of all, why is she hiding her? What's the theory here, Candace? David?
The theory is
Sam?
I thought something was going to happen at the wedding. I really did think something was going to happen at the wedding.
That baby.
I did too.
Yeah, I thought something was going to happen at the wedding too.
Now she's living with Elizabeth and sneaking out to make phone calls once a day.
I think as far as her not saying anything to people about what could possibly be wrong with the baby is that she's in denial. And, think about it. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I had to, take the usual tests where they test them when you're, I think you're 4 or 5 months pregnant, and they test you for all those different diseases and things like that. And it came back a high possibility for my daughter having, what does Carly's baby have? Spina bifida.
Spina bifida.
Yeah. So it came back as a high possibility. And now those tests, of course, are not accurate. But that threw me into, orbit. I just didn't know what to think. I was terrified. I was praying that it wasn't true. And so then they made me go for a, oh, Lord, help me, where they stick the needle in your stomach, an amniocentesis or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. I know.
So
yeah.
I had one of those, and it came back that test was wrong, that my baby was good.
Thank God.
And I thank God for that every day. Yes, I thank God for that every day. But I can understand her wanting to keep it under wraps because she doesn't know, first of all, how bad it's going to be.
Yeah.
And, why share all this news with people that you only affiliate with? And even if some of them are family, why worry all of them if you don't know what's going to happen?
Right.
Well, no, I definitely get you there. But I was actually talking about the other baby. I was talking about Hayden's baby, who's probably going to come back.
Well, you didn't mention Hayden. You said we were talking about the wedding and stuff.
Carly.
Yeah.
Did I say Carly? Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Hayden. That's why I said that she's sneaking out the house once a day to call.
See, I didn't even catch that. Okay, real quick though. With Carly, I think it's something regarding her health. I think if she gives birth, like this pregnancy will be she's a high risk pregnancy, because you guys remember Carly has had issues with pregnancies before. So what if she's neglecting to tell people, okay, if she fully carries this baby to term and delivers, there could be a 50% chance that the baby survives, or a 50% chance that she may not. And by she, I mean Carly.
Well, that's another thing to look at.
Right. Now with Hayden, well, I'm glad her child is alive. Now let's bring the child home.
Yep. Into her father.
Mhm. Yeah, stop being a Jeff Weber.
I just don't, to me, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever that she's hiding this baby from Finn. I cannot understand it unless it's not Finn's baby. Maybe she lost Finn's baby in Rome. Isn't that where she was? Rome. Maybe she lost his baby there and got pregnant by somebody else that's on canvas that we don't know is the father. I mean, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense.
She's only
right, and she told Finn that's why she broke up with Finn. She said that the baby died. So I guess, to save the trouble of, so Finn won't be like, well, why did you lie to me? We could have still been together if you would have told me the truth. Da 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 da. I don't think she wants to go through that hassle, but it's going to be a waging. She's going to be like, hopefully she doesn't be like her daddy, Jeff Weber.
Yeah.
Played by Michael E. Knight. There, I said it.
And lastly, is this restoring the cast iron air? Are they doing this for Nicholas?
Oh, please, I hope so. Please, 1,000 times, please. If General Hospital,
I agree with Candace. Please again.
I mean, I'm praying. It don't make any kind of sense if they're doing it for Spencer. After all this time, it just doesn't make any kind of sense. So please let them know where Nicholas is, and they want to get Valentine and neutralize him before Nicholas comes back. I'm hoping that's where they're going with this.
Oh my gosh! Wait a minute. This is General Hospital. Wait a minute. This is General Hospital we're talking about. Okay. What if? All right. Wait a minute. Okay. What if Valentine is really not Valentine? What if this person, whoever he may be, is a fake, and that the real Valentine is on his way with Nicholas? Let's give the people what they want.
Oh God!
I mean,
let's go one more further. What if
Anna
and Alex weren't the original set of twins? What is Valentine?
Oh no!
And somebody else.
It was the first memory map.
Let's go. Let's do this. Now I'm excited.
Well, now who?
Please don't
you're
let
thinking Valentine had a twin, or you're saying Nicholas did?
I'm going to say Valentine. Because here's the thing. If anybody who's listening to the show remembers the exact description that Helena Castignan told Luke Spencer back in the 90s of how Valentine was, and you compare him to the Valentine we see now, those are kind of two different descriptions. What if to fix the fan outrage, because, by the way, James Patrick Stewart, hi, I love you too. I'm so glad that you and Michael E. Knight are working together again. But what if to really be like, oh my God, we didn't see this coming? What if Valentine did have a twin? What if they actually did the mind mapping thing? Okay, before Anna and Alex, there was Valentine and Diego. I don't know who Diego is. I'm going to make a name. Because remember, Anna was talking about that with Valentine. It all makes sense now.
Girl, you're on the same wavelength I'm on.
Look.
Well, we're going to have to leave a cliff. We're going to have to leave a cliffhanger here because we're just about out of time, and we'll continue talking about it.
Let's invite our listeners to tweet us. Why don't you guys let us know what you think of memory mapping? Maybe Valentine's not Valentine. Why don't you let us know what you think the payoff should be with Kristen? Let us know what you think is going on with Billy Willie and the gum chewing and Delia.
2013.
And let us know if you think Brooke deliberately pushed him or it was just one of those moments where the mother picks up the car when her baby trapped under it.
There you go.
These two radio soaps. I'm Anthony 31C. Candace, who are you? Candy
I'm at Candy Poo.
Candy
I'm at Candy Poo. Candy Poo.
Candy Poo with an H.
Yep.
David's at Take Two Radio Crew. I'm at Take Two Radio. All of us are at Take Two Radio. Or you could be T2R Soaps Review. So thank you again to our guest, Ken Schreiner. We truly appreciate you taking time to speak with us. We love you. You're welcome back anytime. Thank you to our listeners. Thank you to my co-hosts, Carolyn, We missed you.
Thoughts and
We hope
prayers.
you're safe. Prayers to everybody. And we'll see you next time.
Happy Labor
Good
Day,
night,
everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
We need closing music.
I do.
Yeah. Good night.
All right. We're going to get cut off, so I'll talk to you guys
Good night.
later. Goodbye.
Ta-da.